Hello, Cardinals. We're going to be starting lesson 4 today. As always, with each lesson, you're going to get a green tab. You should cut out that tab, tape it into your notebook. Any guiding readings you can tape into your tab page. And you can write the vocab from the tab and then put that reading packet into your binder. Today is Monday, October 2nd. We're going to be we're going to start getting started with lesson 4. Lesson 4 is all about wind and air pressure, and our essential question is, how does the surface under an air mass determine the air mass's temperature, humidity, and movement? So for our getting started, the introduction sounds like this. Air pressure is the force exerted by the weight of air on a surface. A device called a barometer measures the weight of air. Scientists and meteorologists use barometers to detect and measure air pressure changes in the atmosphere. Changing air pressure is one ingredient of weather, and different cloud types form as a result of air pressure. Air pressure or atmospheric pressure can change from hour to hour. These changes help scientists predict the weather. In this lesson, you will construct your own barometer to measure atmospheric pressure, or in other words, barometric pressure. You will form a hypothesis about how changes in the atmosphere affect cloud formations. Then you will design and plan an investigation using your barometer to collect and analyze data to test your hypothesis. So for getting started, number 1, we're going to look back to lesson 3 where you learned about the water cycle and how the surface underneath an air mass affects its temperature and how warm or cool the air moves and how warm and cool air moves. You're going to need to remember this stuff as we move ahead to lesson 4. Today, we're going to talk about how temperature affects the way air moves, and we're going to discuss this in groups and record your answers. And then we're going to look at this map, and then you're going to look back to air masses in lesson 3, and you're going to think about what type of air masses would be in different temperature and humidity conditions, and where they're most likely to meet in the United States. So there's the map. You're going to look at this map and then find the areas where you might have high pressure systems, low pressure systems, cool, dry air, warm, moist air, the different types of air masses. And then here's the reading that we did last week, talking about air masses. And then we're going to be talking about the cold and dry, dry and warm, moist and cold, and moist and warm, different air masses. So just to review, hot water warms the air, and the air expands and becomes less dense, and that makes it unstable. And you can see the little molecule example off to the right. And then the opposite of that, the cold surface cools the air around it, and that air becomes more dense and sinks, and that creates stable air. So as we look to the weather map here, what you're going to find out is up north, you're going to get a cold and dry air mass. Down south, it would be warm and moist. Up to the northwest, you would get a cold and moist air mass. And of course, over the desert area around Arizona, New Mexico, you would get hot and dry. And we're going to be talking about what happens when those different air masses meet. So we're going to kind of create a chart about air mass, temperature, humidity, and does the air move up or down. You'll also get a demonstration today. You're going to use a bottle, some plastic, and a rubber band, and you're going to watch as your teacher demonstrates air pressure. And you're going to try to push the bag into a jar, and you're going to observe what happens and why. So getting started today, we're going to complete steps 1 through 6. Hopefully we'll get some time to define some vocab. And then there are a couple of videos that we could watch on Google Classroom. And if we really get ahead, we can read Investigation 4.1 and read Why Does the Wind Blow? So a lot of little things today, starting lesson 4. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher.